Narrowly escaping the attack on a Groom Range, Carter accompanies Director Falk to a secret location to plan their next steps. Excellent.
I would have played that cutscene again. Because it wouldn't be a shame if we missed the cutscene. Oh, cool. Alright guys, we're back for episode 4 of the Bureau XCOM Declassified.
Control. This is Sky Ranger 1 requesting permission to land.
Copy, Sky Ranger. Permission granted. You are cleared for pad number 3.
So I guess the Sky Ranger in this game
a hole in the ground to beat those things.
is quite different than the one from previous XCOM titles, which is much more jet-like.
Just admit it. You're impressed.
Whereas I'd say this one has a lot in common
What is the Bureau anyway?
with a
Bureau
helicopter.
of Operations and Command.
Never heard of it.
You were never meant to.
So you got George Clooney and Robert Patrick in a helicopter together.
This base wasn't meant to be operational for another year.
Oh,
We've called in every operative we had earmarked for the project, but, well, let's just say that we'll be a bit understaffed.
I see.
Director Falk, sir. Welcome back.
These two are with me.
It would appear we have ourselves a little Batman
least
Arkham
this
Asylum
location is
situation
secure.
going on.
And I intend for it to stay that way. I'll be giving a report to all staff at 0300. Report to the operations room at that time. I have a lot to prepare, Carter. Agent Weaver will show you around.
Alright,
Down here, Carter. Come on.
I'm coming.
When Ivan put Sputnik up, the brass got scared. This project became top priority. Off the books, of course.
Why so stiffly?
Hold it there. Don't move it. All right,
Whoa, whoa,
people.
whoa, watch
Show's
out.
over. Back to work.
Carter, this is Nico De Silva, Senior Field Agent. Nico,
greetings.
you'll be sharing your workspace with Agent Carter.
Welcome to the most advanced facility on Earth.
Falk wants him up and running ASAP. Time is of the
get
essence.
cocky, kid.
Straight from his mouth.
Gotcha. Well, come on. Our office is right over here.
Alright. Nicholas De Silva.
Matt Weaver is one tough broad. So, this is us. This is my desk here. Yours is over there. Get comfortable, Will. Things as they are. This is both your office and your quarters. Do you mind if I call you Will?
Yes, I do mind.
Well, I'm not calling you Agent Carter. I might be military, but I'm not that formal.
I prefer William.
Yeah, well, I prefer Nico, even if my mother insists on calling me Nicholas. There are some things that are just beyond our control.
I can see we'll be fast friends, you and I.
Glad to hear it. My supply of friends got cut a bit short lately.
That all, De Silva?
For now, sure. You have any questions, just ask. And one more thing.
Yeah?
The old man, Director Falk. He's a hard man to impress, but you managed it. Not what I expected after reading your file. Only pleasant surprise I've had all day.
How many people around here know my history?
We all know each other. Don't worry, you'll get to read up on us too. The old man thinks that the more attached we are to one another, the better we'll be in the field. The Bureau might be an adjustment for you. We work in teams here. Seems like you're more accustomed to operating alone.
Yeah, well, I'm also accustomed to the enemy being human. An attack like this, it's gonna mean a lot of adjustment for everybody. I'm a different man today than I was yesterday, you know.
I'm glad you're open to new experiences, Agent Carter.
Where were you this morning? Did you get caught in any of this?
No, I was out gathering intel on a weather anomaly way out in the boondocks. Something was
Sure, it's
interfering with
unrelated.
television and radio signals. Everything except the heavy-duty military gear. Since the attack, it's gone global.
Oh
They
no.
shut down our communication just before the attack. Keep us from coordinating. Smart.
Sure, but there's one way it helped us. Can you imagine the panic if the public found out about an alien attack?
Good point.
Seem like you know your way around this place.
I don't typically work out of this facility. Hell, no one really did until today. I'm with the NSA, but my post for the past few months has been with a small team that reports to Director Falk.
Who else is on this team?
It was supposed to be kept small until it was needed. Now, people who were pre-flagged for recruitment are coming in. Well, the ones that are still alive.
People were pre-selected? From where?
From the military, the clandestine service, DIA, even some civvies. No one knew that they were selected until they got the call. As of this morning, Falk activated the project and sent that call out.
And before today?
For the last few years, it's just been a couple dozen specialists. But now, we got a lot of new squaddies to bring up to speed.
I need to get myself oriented. Let's talk later.
Sure thing, Will. Good to have you on board.
Alright.
Sounds like the director's about to start. Come on, let's get the good seats.
So, I gotta say, having played through this segment before, the dialogue is very boring. And it also being past 3 a.m. and me just having got off a very adventurous recording session, Horizon Zero Dawn, doesn't help either. Alright. Name, William James Carter, born November 4th, 1920 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to Beryl and Jeremiah Carter. Education is a bachelor degree engineering, Indiana University. Widowed. Family, Beryl Carter, mother, deceased. Jeremiah Carter, father, deceased. Julia Carter, wife, deceased. Richard Carter, son, deceased. Oh, look, they're all deceased in the same year. That sucks. Professional record. William Carter joined the Army December 17, 1941, leaving college to enlist shortly after the attack on Pearl Harbor. He saw action in the Pacific Theater and earned the rank of Master Sergeant, with commendations for his service in the Burma Campaign. His service ended on October 25, 1945, after which he returned to college on the GI Bill. Shortly after graduating, the CIA recruited Carter in 1948 as field operative. His quick thinking and bravery served him well, and he rose through the ranks, earning personal commendations from both Director Hoover and President Truman. He excelled at deep cover assignments, serving for weeks or months at a time in Indochina and the USSR. In 1959, during a deep cover assignment in Laos, a fire at his family home in Arlington killed his father, wife, and son. However, due to the communications blackout of the mission, Carter did not learn of the tragedy until he returned in 1960. He alternates between blaming himself and the agency for the tragedy. This, as much as anything else, led to his drinking problem. Following a string of disciplinary charges in December of 1960, William Carter was reassigned to domestic operations only. Continued problems led to a further demotion to administrative duties in June of 1961. Director's addendum. Mirren, this one's aggressive, temperamental, and defensive, but he gets the job done. I don't recommend him, but the Bureau is your department. If you insist on him, I don't recommend a long-term position. The man used to be a hero, but now he's busy destroying himself. He's not useful for much anymore, except as an expendable asset. Signed, J. Edgar Hoover. Alright. What about Nico's file? Name, Nicholas Alexandre de Silva. Born August 17, 1924 in Baltimore, Maryland, to Catherine and Silvestri de Silva. Education, international law, New York University. Marital status, divorced. Silvestre de Silva, father deceased. Catherine de Silva, mother deceased. Elizabeth Montaigne, ex-wife, divorced. Nicholas de Silva Jr., son, estranged. Laura Harper, daughter, illegitimate. Oh. Professional record. Joined the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department August 12, 1947. Advanced to deputy sheriff with high commendations for field work. Began to pursue a career with the FBI as a legal analyst. During a screening, the FBI discovered that De Silva had not completed his JD degree, having dropped out of college due to financial concerns and falsified his credentials. Ooh. Deputy De Silva lost his job on December 24, 1951, which quickly led to the collapse of his marriage. However, the FBI was impressed by De Silva's record with the MPD as well as his interpersonal skills, and on February 14, 1952, they recruited him on a probationary basis for field work. He demonstrated exceptional skill in the field and received a small degree of fame for his heroic single-handed arrest of the bank robber K.D. Carpenter on February 4, 1955. Despite his acclaim, Agent De Silva was repeatedly demoted back to probationary agent due to various, quote, moral concerns about his activities when off duty. In 1959, after an embarrassing arrest in New York City, where he and a jazz singer assaulted an officer, the FBI decided to move out of visible work. At Director Falk's request, Agent Nico De Silva was reassigned to work with the Bureau as a covert agent. Nice. Storied past, this guy. Alright, let's hop on out. Have a little meeting to go to. Always smoking. That's how you know it's the 60s.
Lights.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
We are at war, and not the one we were expecting.
True.
Groom range, 2100 hours. Survivors, 6. In just a few minutes, our enemy managed to destroy the primary strategic command center. By 2130, Strategic Command itself ceased to exist. Our combined military forces have been routed. The comms have gone dark. The red phone will not be ringing. And that is why, as of now, I, Myron Falk, am assuming command of what's left of our nation's defenses. The Bureau was founded to coordinate resistance forces in the event of a complete and successful Soviet invasion. That mission remains the same, even if our enemy does not. We now face an opponent from beyond our world, whose identity is yet unknown. But make no mistake, this enemy has crippled us. They have technology decades beyond what we possess. We must make it our own. Their weapons will become our weapons, and when they do, we shall annihilate them. I give you new orders. Survive, adapt, win. Welcome to XCOM.
I'm curious. If the Bureau had always been called XCOM, and XCOM is short for Extraterrestrial Combat, why? If it was originally meant for a Soviet invasion, the Soviets aren't quite extraterrestrials.
No!
Who's
No, I can help them. Let me help them!
man on a chair in a black room is a lot easier to animate and render than a
Carter.
actual like burning
Hey,
house.
Will, wake up.
What?
It's a little piece of
Jesus,
trivia for
Carter.
me.
How is it you look worse than before you went to sleep?
I'm fine. And you yelling for me to wake up doesn't help.
Well,
I wasn't the one yelling.
he's true.
What did I say?
Something about a fire. I don't know. I guess after the morning you had, it makes sense.
No, this wasn't about that. It wasn't about Groom Range.
Well, my guess is you're not the only one having nightmares after this morning. Head shrinking's gonna be a big business after this war.
Yep.
If there isn't after this war. Ah, Christ, that was dark. Anyway, Falk's looking for you. Wants you in his office, ASAP.
What does he
The
want?
old man say what he wanted with me?
Ha! Guess you don't know him all that well yet. The director doesn't tell anyone anything he doesn't think they need to know.
Well, I guess you can't really hold knocking off for a few against me. Seeing as how we seem to be in our office and our quarters.
Yeah, I guess some parts of the emergency plan leave something to be desired. Ah well, it'll be just like college, right?
Yeah, except I stayed in Mrs. Hawthorne's boarding house back in Terre Haute. Had my own bathroom and everything.
Well, ain't you fancy?
Are you saying something about that radio?
Oh yeah. Cheap thing normally just pipes in the company elevator music, but it's been picking up some weird signal. Damned if I know what it is.
Don't we have more important issues to deal with?
Sure, that's why I haven't bothered with it. But if someone on the outside is able to broadcast through that jamming signal,
Oh, interesting.
it could be important.
Who would know
Right.
more about this?
Check with Operator Chelsky. She's information officer for the Bureau. Keeps track of communications, arranges contacts, manages what the public hears. The whole deal.
I better
right.
go see what the old man wants.
See you later, Will.
And check the radio. But we are running at about 15 minutes, so I'm going to call this an episode. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you tomorrow with the next episode, or I guess the day after tomorrow, based on how I'm staggering these out. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.